Hello, welcome back to the Sassy Chef and the Good Foodie. This is episode 2. How are you doing today, Sassy Chef?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
How was your week?
Wet. My weekend was wet and relaxing because all of my events got rained out by Hurricane Helene last weekend. How was yours?
Same. Every single one except for two got
So you
rained
still
out
got to go to some in the rain?
in the rain all day, all night. It rained all day and all night at both of them.
Was there many people in attendance?
There was nobody hardly at those events.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, it was just literally a washout, but at least we just got some rain and not the flooding that the eastern part of our state got in western North Carolina and Georgia and South Carolina and Florida. So I guess I'm just going to be thankful. I just lost a little business and I didn't lose everything I own or
Yes,
my
me too.
life.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me about your events this you went to this weekend. So the event planners still wanted to go on with it, even though it was raining.
Yes, one of the events I didn't go to at all because it was raining. It was just too much rain. And then Friday we had the 41A, which they canceled it for Friday night. And Saturday they still went on with it, but hardly anyone showed up. And there was 4 food trucks there,
It
so
was still raining pretty good
it
Saturday night.
rained nonstop all day long there.
Mm,
Drizzle. It wasn't like a pour down and stop. It was a drizzle nonstop.
mm.
So not too many people came out for that. But we did get new customers, so that's always a good
Well,
thing.
that's
So
good.
any day with a new customer is a good day.
Right, right. You said you had 2 events in the rain?
Yes, and then we had an event at a venue on Sunday, which it didn't really rain. It drizzled a little, but it wasn't a good turnout either. So
Mm. Were you the only food truck for that one?
we were not the only food truck. We were supposed to be the only food truck, but it ended up we had another food truck there with the exact same menu as us almost. So that didn't go very well either.
I think event planners don't always think about that. I think a lot of times event planners just want to have a lot of food trucks to look like they have a lot of variety. Um, do you think they just didn't think about it, or do you think they didn't wasn't really concerned about it?
I'm not really sure they were concerned about it because I was told I was going to be the only food truck there. So and not the case at all.
Right.
And it wouldn't be a big deal if it wasn't 2 food trucks with the exact same menu. Makes it very hard with 2 different price points
And
on
that's
their
just poor
menu.
planning. And
Yes.
and I don't know if I think that's more than they just don't understand, or um I don't think it's intentional. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't know. I like to think it's not intentional. It's just poor planning.
I hope it's not intentional, other than like they should really check to see what the menus are like for the trucks that they are inviting because either they had no clue or it, but we offered the same thing. So it's just like, how could they miss that?
I think there needs to be like a training video for event planners. This is how many food trucks you need for this many people, and each one needs to be different. And what are their menus? Get to know their menus. Get to know their price points. And it's kind of up to the event planner to do all that, because a lot of times when we show up, we don't know who's going to be there. We just show up and see who's there, and if I'm $5 higher than all the other food trucks, I got to lower my prices or have less sales volume, but either way it affects my bottom line.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But you're going to the food truck training, so you're going to get to learn all this
I
stuff for
am so
us.
excited about going to the food truck expo in Orlando next month. It's already next month.
You're going to learn all kinds of stuff for all of us.
I hope so. I hope so.
That's going to be so
I
fun.
have no idea what to expect. No idea. So.
I keep hearing about it on that podcast, so hopefully it's going to be a very good turnout and you're going to meet some very interesting and fun people
I
and
hope
find out all kinds of
so.
stuff.
I hope so, and I hope I learn a lot because I'm fairly new. I'm 4 years in, fairly new. It's just I feel like a beginner, a novice, imposter usually. Like, oh, I'm somebody pretending to run a food truck, you know. So I hope there's some good information shared and some good networking, and maybe I can learn something from some of the veterans out there and bring it back to our community and share with our food truck family here in our area.
Yeah, because there's still a lot I need to learn. I mean, it, also with this, like this last event on Sunday, like when do we when do we as food trucks start saying, okay, well then I have to have a minimum? You know, you told me there's like I do tell some places that I have a minimum, but this past event on Sunday, I kind of feel like they asked me to come there, so I should have implemented that,
Your minimum.
minimum
I
because
know I struggle with that too because if I'm going to do like a party at somebody's house or something, a private event, and they just want a food truck, I'll ask for a minimum.
mm,
But usually, if I'm doing an event where there's going to be like several bands or a festival or something like that, I don't do a good job of asking for a minimum because I guess I just assume, oh, this is going to be a good event. You know, if my minimum's $500 or whatever, I'll make that so I don't ask. But then you go and it's raining, and nobody can help the weather, but you can't help it either. And you've bought inventory and you've hired staff to help, and you're out that money.
yes,
Even if nobody can help the rain, you're out that money. So,
or if there's more food trucks than what was expected,
or
or
one
they
with the
don't,
same menu.
yeah, or there's not as big of a turnout just for any reason that they say, oh, there's going to be 200 people here. We have 2 food trucks.
How many
Or,
events have you done? I know you've done several because I've done several events where they overinflate the number of people they're expecting to have there. Oh, we're going to have 1,500 people, and you get there and there's maybe 500, and they've got like 6 food trucks.
yes, several. And
Mm-hmm.
it makes it really hard. So, like, I have gotten better at saying I need the minimum. Like, I did an open house
Mm-hmm.
and I did stick to my minimum and did it, and it worked out. It did just fine. And, they had to pay the difference, but they were okay with it. And that one turned out really well. I just got to get better at saying that to everyone.
Well, maybe having that behind you, knowing that they did it, they didn't, debate it or anything, gives you a little more grounds to be easier to do it next time. I know it helps me,
Mm-hmm.
it encourages me to want to do it next
That
time.
people do understand. You explain it to them and they do
Mm-hmm.
understand. This last,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay. This last one I did, this was the third time I've given him a chance.
Third
And
time's the charm.
yes, and that was the last one.
Yeah, you can't just keep going somewhere and losing
I
money.
try to give them at least 3 tries,
Mm-hmm.
and then if it doesn't work out, I don't go back.
And I try to support these local smaller events because I want to keep a local customer base. I don't want all my events to be music festivals in some other community or somewhere else or some other kind of festival or whatever it is. I wanted some of it to be in my community, and I know there's a cost with that sometimes, but um, I like to think, well, I'm getting new customers in my area, and a lot of times these small events that I do that doesn't have a big sales volume, I don't have a big ticket income. I get invited to other events that are big though, and they turn into other events. And so, yeah, I struggle with that too. I struggle with a lot, but yeah, I struggle with that too because I want to do these small events just for goodwill to my local community to stay. I'm a part of this community.
Yes.
I want to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, I did get another invite to another event, but and I will probably give it a try. It's supposed to be. It's several years in now, but it's an hour and a half away.
Mm.
So I don't know. I've never went that far with my truck before.
I have pulled mine about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours away, and it's a lot. But it's a event I'm pretty popular at, and I get asked to come back every year too. And it's a big sales volume event, so it's worth it.
So we'll be going back again. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
We did one event in Shelbyville that was supposed to be like the 13th year they had did that one, and it was supposed to be this huge turnout, and we were the only food truck, but there were so many other food vendors there,
Mm-hmm.
and we sold one soda in 4 hours.
Yeah,
I will never go back.
Again, I think a lot of event planners just don't understand the food truck side of it. And to them, as long as we sell something, we're good. I don't think they all understand the expense it is just for us to set up, just for us to get somewhere and set up. And some of our inventory can't be saved.
Right.
So what do you do? Like this weekend, I did not. I waited till the last minute to do my shopping for my events this weekend because I knew this rain was coming. And so I did not buy my like produce and my fresh ingredients yet. So everything I bought was like my meat and my bread, which I can store
Hmm.
until next weekend because I do have an event this coming weekend. But what do you do if you've bought, $1,200 worth of inventory and $400 of it you can't keep? Do you have a plan B?
I do now. I'm going to start offering the next week, offer delivery service, or if it's bad weather, offer delivery service just so we can get rid of some of that before it goes to waste, and just because
That's
it's
a
a
good
lot.
idea. So
Yeah.
not open your window,
But like,
but just yeah, take call ahead orders and or
call ahead orders.
offices or schools and deliver.
Right. And
Okay.
like time, I don't really have it worked out yet, but I think, setting up a time frame of different places,
Hmm.
posting a menu and saying, we'll deliver today.
I had an event few weeks ago now, and it didn't kick off until 5 in the afternoon. But I went ahead and set up for lunch, and not necessarily with my window open, but I called the two schools that were in the community the day before, and I sent them a menu. And I said, "Hey, I'll bring you lunch if you tell me what your lunchtime is." And that ended up being very successful. So, yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, because a lot of places can't get away or don't want to leave out of their office when it's raining. So, I
And
mean,
teachers can't leave.
yeah.
Yeah.
So send them a menu and just be like, we can deliver today.
Yeah.
Just give me your lunch times, like you said, and be a good
That's a
place.
good idea. I did not do any kind of plan B last weekend because I had not bought my produce and my fresh ingredients. So it was the only weekend I have off between August and Thanksgiving. So I took it.
Oh yeah, definitely take it.
Yeah. I sat inside and watched it rain.
Hey, it's nice. The rain is nice and relaxing. Go to sleep, take a nap.
Yeah. So I have a dilemma. I have tentatively agreed to go to an event and set up later in the month. It's not a big event, but it's a local event. And back to I want to support my local community. I have not confirmed with them that I'm gonna be there, but just over the phone, like, hey, yeah, I think I'd like to come. Send me more details. Um, but now I've had another event because I've got two trailers. I've got my big food trailer, and then I've got my mini, which I do boba teas out of. And I've got another event. It's a marching band contest where I can sell my boba teas, and I do it as a fundraiser for the band programs, and they want me to come. And I mean, that's a huge event. And so I'm like, do I try to do both? I've never run both food trucks at the same time because, it's just me and my husband, and then a little help that we hire here and there. But we'd have to use the same truck to pull both trailers. And now I'm in a quandary because I really want to support my local community and do that event, but I don't think I can pull both off. What would you do?
Oh, what about some of the people that have helped you in the past?
Well, they'd have it's
Did they
the
do your
pulling
sandwich?
the trailer, the like pulling the trailer with the same truck because I only have one pickup truck, and I got to pull them in two different places, and the other event's an hour and a half away.
Oh,
It's not, yeah. If it were here,
I would pick one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd probably pick the. Do you pick the bigger ticket sale, or do you pick the one to support your local community?
Well, they're both actually helping people, though.
They
I mean,
are. I'm so torn.
so the other one is going to help the school.
Yeah, it's going to help a
It's the
band
band.
program.
The band is your heart.
It is. It
So I would go
is.
with the band.
Yeah, yeah.
Your local people know you and they know who you are, so they're gonna
I
be okay with that.
I make it. I've just got a policy on my own self that I'm not going to back out events I've confirmed I'm going to be there because something better came along.
Right.
I just don't think that's a good way to do
Mhm.
business. But I'm gonna justify it a little bit. I haven't actually confirmed I'm going to do this event, so I kind of feel like I got a little bit of wiggle room to
Yeah,
get
because you haven't
out.
promised them you'll be there.
Right? They're not dependent on me, and I know there's other food trucks,
Yeah.
and it's one of those events. It's not going to be real big. But again, it is local and it's my people, so it's tough. How do
It
you go
is.
about making decisions? Do you do like a cost benefit analysis or pros and cons or
I won't reschedule. I won't back out because it's a bigger event. But I did overbook myself once, and I couldn't get my trailer out of one event to go to the other one I was supposed to. And when I found that out, I did let them know a week or two,
well,
wait,
that's
about a week
fair.
before.
That's
So I let them
fair.
know I couldn't, that I had really overbooked. But I thought I could be able to get my trailer out, but it had to stay overnight, so
Yeah.
I didn't. So I backed out of the local one because I couldn't get my trailer out. Not
Yeah.
because I really wanted to, but because I just thought I would be able to, and I wasn't able to. So
Yeah. I really, that's the thing about planning. A lot of events will call you months and months ahead of time, and your calendar is empty, and you put them on it. And then some of these bigger events might call closer to time, and you really want to do those bigger events because you see those dollar signs. But I just think my business name's more important than those dollar signs.
Me too. And I hear that a lot in another podcast. They talk about how they will not cancel on a smaller event for a bigger event because that smaller event is their name and they've promised these people and they don't
Exactly.
want to lose business over them thinking you're not going to be dependable.
Right. Right. But I don't want to show up and just do a half baked job either.
Yeah.
Because then that's my name too.
Yeah.
And I'm makes me really nervous for somebody else to run my food truck because you've run my food truck before. You know that. You're
Yes.
about the only person I would trust to run my food truck. And so, my husband can run it. I could put him in one and me in one, but it's just taking the truck that many miles in one day, pulling two different trailers. It just seems very stressful to me. And I'm not sure it's enough money to make up for that stress.
We've done that. We've taken it from one location to another location. It is a lot in one day, especially for you. That's a really far distance.
Except these events are at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's not like going to one and then going to another. It's taking the mini, an hour and a half away, and then coming back and taking the big trailer 15 minutes away, and then bringing it back late at night, and then driving an hour and a half to go pick up the mini and bringing it back.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But I would go with the one with the band.
Yeah.
I think you would like that more. I mean, not that you would like it more, but the band is your.
I feel like I'm doing more good there for them. I'll raise more money for them. And this other event I do is not a donation or anything. I mean, it's just show up and feed. So I'm not really, I'm supporting a good cause, but I'm not helping a group, I guess. The same. I'm trying to talk myself into it. I'm just fine. Yeah. So what are your plans? Let's see. This is this weekend's coming up pretty quick. What are your plans this weekend? It's not supposed to rain.
We have the Thames Sports State Park Fall Festival. That's a long day because it's from
Is it Saturday?
It is.
What's that about? Tell me what that event is.
It's their maybe I'm not really sure if this is their first year or their second year.
Okay.
Have you done it before?
I haven't.
So maybe this is their first year. It's just their annual. Well, it says their annual, so it has to be more than.
Okay, maybe it's their first annual.
Yeah.
But what else going to be going on there? Do you know? You're just showing up. Yeah, you're going to feed people.
She asked me to come, so I was like, okay, we will be there. Because we have done an event there before, and it was a great turnout. We had lots of new customers, and it was a good one. So.
I've set up at their park, not for an event, but just set up at the park and done pretty well. Now I have done a special event with them, and it was not great, but it rained, and again, they can't help the rain. That's not their fault.
Mm-hmm.
And I would probably do another one if I wasn't already booked somewhere else, which all their events they're doing this fall is already booked somewhere. So I'm doing a domestic violence awareness event, local. Again, this is one of those local events I want to do. So I'm looking forward to that. I think if the weather's good, they've got some good speakers, and I think it'll be a pretty good turnout.
And that's a good cause.
It is. It is. Yeah.
We would definitely do the 41A again next year.
I've done that the last 3 years. I just didn't do it this year because I had another event already scheduled. But I did the last 3 years and did great, but it wasn't raining. The weather was great. So I think I would definitely give that one another try because that is a good event.
That's what everyone says. It's a really good event, and it's just the weather.
Yeah, just the weather. Yeah. And then we have Cave Fest. Not this weekend, but the next.
Yes, I'm excited for that one.
Right? That's going to be intense. Yeah. I know I've already got trying to line up help. It's not hard to get help for that, though, because they want to hear the music.
Yes. I know. I can't decide on my menu. I mean, I'm always going to have the wraps, but like when you're down at the campground, I want to do crazy breakfast.
So you do breakfast down there, don't you? Now I won't be at the campground. I'll be in the amphitheater. So I'll be like 13-hour shifts, like 11 to midnight. And it's supposed to be cold, so I'm going to do hot chocolate this time. You should do hot chocolate down the campground.
Me too. I think I will do the hot chocolate and coffee and breakfast and learning our hours, because the last time we didn't know when to sleep. This time we kind of have a plan.
Okay.
We're going to go home and rest, and when we're going to be open, and
Go home and sleep for 2 hours and then go back.
we'll survive. Maybe pull a camper there. We're thinking maybe pulling a camper and staying for the weekend.
Next week we could talk about what we decided, because right now, I'm still tossing in my head exactly what to offer, and I want to see who the other food trucks are, because sometimes I'll modify my menu a little bit depending on who else is there
or who's down there with me or with me. Because I try to always check to make sure we're not serving the exact same things. Or
this is probably one of my favorite events of the whole year to do, though. It's fun, and the people, I've kind of got my little following now at Cave Fest. They come back each year and they come to me like, "Oh, I'm so glad to see you again. I've waited a whole year to eat this bulgogi bowl."
Oh yeah, and isn't that the best feeling? It's
like
crazy when they come back and say, "Oh, I had this last time I was here, and it's really good." And,
Well, it's a lot of the trucks are really good food, but it's heavy, greasy, food, and a lot of times people are just looking for a healthier option or a vegan option. A lot of these places, and a lot of them tell me like, "You're the only truck I ate at all weekend," and I know you've had that too there.
Yes.
Down the campground where they've eaten your wraps all weekend.
Yes, and they like it because some of them are not even vegan, but they'll eat the vegan wrap or the Mediterranean wrap because they're just fresh vegetables. And that's what they just won't.
There's a lot of fresh vegetables coming off the trucks.
Yeah.
That's not a typical food truck thing, I guess.
They're all good, but it's just like, they want those vegetables after a long weekend. And I have a regular, normal Wednesday customer. He's not vegan, but he likes everything that's on the vegan wrap, so he will order it every week.
Well, I'm not vegan, but I like some vegan dishes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes meat's just heavy, I think, but yeah. What any other thoughts on anything?
No, I just hope for a better weather week this week, and I hope Cave Fest is not rainy.
I know. As of right now, it's not, but it's still 10 days out. Who knows? Yeah. I hope it's not either. But I think it's supposed to next week be a lot cooler, like highs in the maybe high 60s, low 70s, and lows in the 40s and 50s.
I would take that.
Yes, that's amazing. Yes. Yeah. I know one year, was it K-Fest? It was one year I had to like turn my stove burners up just to heat my trailer up. It was so cold, which is not something I experience in my trailer very often.
I know we joke about that all the time. Like, I won't need a heater because it gets so hot in there with the equipment, but I don't know if it's going to be.
If it's 30-something degrees outside, it gets cold because I know it's not going to be that cold, but yeah. Well, and then it's going to slow down a little bit for me after the 1st of November. I mean, I've got, I don't have any local events after October. All my events are mostly caverns after.
So, I think we have another event with you on the 8th of November. Mm-hmm. And then after that, pretty much mine is holiday catering.
So our event on the 8th, we'll be there till like, midnight. And I got to drag my trailer home. And I have an 8 a.m. flight to Florida for that food expo the next morning. Even though it's not till Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm going early to see some friends. So yeah, that'll be crazy because we're going to leave the house for the airport at like 4:30 after getting home at like 1. I'm not even sure I'll go to sleep because I'm afraid if I go to sleep, I won't wake up.
You'll miss your flight.
Yeah, and I want to go to that expo. I'm looking forward to it.
We may end up there with you, so
I hope so. And I'm sorry about the reason why.
Yeah.
So I know you were planning on going to North Carolina, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that the area you're going to is devastated.
And, we may still go there because I have friends that there are struggling right now. So we could maybe just go help them and just see what we could do to help them. I don't know.
You know what I really want to do? Load my food truck up and go feed everybody over there. Or in East Tennessee and Western North Carolina.
That's what I've been thinking.
I just don't know if I can get it there.
Get there.
There's no roads. Right. Well, our thoughts and prayers are certainly with everybody in that area. But especially our food truck family in that area. Mm-hmm. So it's unimaginable what they've been through. All right. Well, Sassy Chef, it's been another good podcast tonight.
I think so.
All right. I'm looking forward to our one next week.